Destiny 2's Void Warlocks are actually very underrated. Despite what you may think, they're actually kind of overpowered, especially with next season's Nova Bomb buff giving an extra 20% damage boost to its super damage. Now is the best time to add this broken Void build to your loadout. This build takes advantage of the Vortex Grenade and the Warlock exotic Controverse Holds, which may be one of the most overlooked exotics in their arsenal. As you can see on the screen, I am in a Legend Avalon mission by myself, putting me at 20 light under, and I'm not even breaking a sweat. This build consists of huge damage grenades that regen basically instantly with the help of some mods, 100% uptime on Devour to make us basically invincible, and super fast ultimate charge time, volatile rounds, and it's just super fun. So with the help of this build and many other Warlock builds that I'm going to be covering in the future, this video is going to be showing you why Void Warlocks are going to be S tier meta in the upcoming months of Destiny 2, starting next week with Season 21. The best thing about this build is that you can take it into any activity that Destiny 2 throws at you, whether that be a simple Vanguard mission, or you're taking it into a raid on contest mode or a Grandmaster Nightfall. This build will excel in anything Destiny has to throw at you. Has helped me get many flawless triumphs, such as dungeons, seasonal missions, and seasonal exotic missions. So without further ado, let's get into the build. Just quickly, before we get into the build, if you do enjoy this content, feel free to drop a like and a subscribe. But anyway, let's move on into the subclass. Obviously, we're going to be running Void Walker. I like to use Cataclysm for that huge burst damage. For the Rift, it is completely up to you. I like to use Healing Rift, but you can use Empowering Rift purely because we're going to have 100% Devour uptime. For the Grenade, we're going to be running Vortex Grenade, as this works incredibly well with our Controverse Holds. For the Aspects, we're going to need Chaos Accelerant, because this is what makes this build work. We can hold that grenade button to overcharge our grenade, making it do more damage and last longer. As you can see, Vortex Grenade, when you overcharge it, it increases the size and the lingering duration of the vortex. For our second aspect, we want to be using Feed the Void, so that whenever we get a Void ability kill, it's going to activate Devour. Once we have Devour up, getting a kill with a weapon or another Void ability will give us full health, extend that Devour duration back up to 10 seconds, and also grant grenade energy. Now moving to the fragments, I like to use Echo of Expulsion. Therefore, whenever we kill anything with our grenade or our melee, it's going to explode, dealing more damage. Secondly, I like to use Echo of Instability purely because next week in the artifact we are not going to have volatile flow, meaning we can't get volatile rounds as easy as we have this season. So having Echo of Instability is sort of future-proofing this build for next week when we don't have volatile flow. And when we get a kill with our grenade, it's going to grant us volatile rounds, making this build even better. Finally, I like to use Echo of Undermining. Our Void Grenades will weaken targets, giving them a minus 15% debuff. I like to use this especially when there's some yellow bars and bosses, giving us an extra boost to weapon damage. And if there's a boss, you can throw your grenade out, weaken them, and then throw your Nova Bomb for extra damage. Moving on to the mods, here is a quick screenshot. You can just copy this down right now, or you can stick around and I'll explain why I pick all of these mods. But here it is, here's a quick screenshot, take a photo. We want to be using Controverse Holds because of the exotic perk. As you can see down here, charge Void Grenades return grenade energy on a hit. This is huge. The more enemies that you hit when you throw out the grenade, the more grenade energy you get back. On top of this, if you can throw it on a yellow bar and it slowly ticks that bar down, all of those hits count towards getting grenade energy back, meaning you get your grenade super fast. On top of this, when we're in those higher activities, it also resists incoming damage while you're charging that Void Grenade. Although it only takes, about 1 to 2 seconds to charge that grenade up, this damage resistance is huge, especially in those endgame activities. The most important mods in this build is double Ashes to Assets on the helmet. All of these grenade kills is going to give us huge super energy back, so make sure you have double Ashes to Assets. Here's a quick clip of me getting my super back in the Legend Avalon mission in about 15 seconds. It is ridiculous. I don't think I've seen anyone get their super this quick, but double Ashes to Assets definitely helps with this. On the gauntlets, I like to use double Grenade Kickstart. Therefore, we can just get even more grenade energy back when we throw it out. And because we're going to be using our grenade as our main source of damage, Firepower is a must to generate heaps of orbs. On the chest, it is completely up to you in depending on what activity you're doing. I like to use triple void resistance because I'm doing the Avalon mission, but depending on what activity you're doing, you can change your resistance up. On the boots, double innovation just to make sure we get that grenade back even faster. With firepower on the gauntlets, we're going to be creating an incredible amount of orbs, so this is not a problem. And I like to also just throw an absolution on here so that when we pick up those orbs, it's going to give us melee and class ability energy back. Finally, on the bond, I like to use double bomber. Again, just reducing that grenade cooldown even more, and Reaper, so whenever we use that class ability, we get more orbs of power. So the rotation for this build is super simple. There's not much to it. All you really need to do is throw out that grenade and aim for at least 2 or 3 targets. Aiming for yellow bars is even better because the more hits they do on that target, the more grenade energy you're going to get back. So as you see here, I overcharge a grenade and throw it right in the middle of all the ads. I throw out a super just because I can, just because I want to get that super back super fast. I've already got my grenade back and I then overcharge it and throw it at another few ads. Kill a couple ads with my devour active, and again I've got my grenade back, overcharge it and throw it down. It is super easy to get your grenade back as long as you aim for 2 or 3 targets. As you can see from this footage, all I have to do is hit 2 targets, it pulls them in, weakens them, blows them up, and I've already got my grenade back. We don't have to worry if it doesn't give our full grenade energy back, because like I said before, having devour active and killing ads with devour on will grant you grenade energy. So if you run out of grenade, throw a melee ad as well, put a rift down, but it won't be a problem. If you can hit at least 2 or 3 ads, you will have your grenade back instantly. I've got volatile rounds as well on my machine gun, so I kill the snipers and I focus on killing more ads. Like I said earlier in the video, this build is great for that high-end content like contest mode, legend missions, and raids. Next season, the Nova Bomb is getting a 20% damage boost in PvE, meaning we can do even more damage to bosses. People really haven't been using Void in PvE purely because of the Starfire protocol build that has been absolutely reigning supreme in PvE. That exotic is finally being nerfed next season, so us Warlocks can finally use something different, and I'm really happy for this. I sort of felt like I was locked into using a well inside of PvE for my teammates, but this build surely proves it wrong. Having the right mods on your armor is very important for this build. Having double grenade kickstart on the gauntlets is incredibly good, and adding firepower to this is very important. Picking up those orbs after you get a grenade kill will then give you armor charges, making that grenade kickstart give you a huge chunk of energy back for your grenades. Now for the weapon loadout, I'm using the funnel web and the retrofit escapade, both void weapons for a void build. The funnel web is definitely the best void weapon to use for a void build. Having that high fire rate with volatile rounds is simply unbeatable and you can't beat it. Using a void machine gun, I like to use retrofit escapade with 4 times a charm and target lock. This definitely helps with more damage to bosses and killing mini bosses. Like I said earlier in the video, this build has helped me do many flawless triumphs. With how good Devour is and how easily you can re-proc it and get full health, it makes solo flawless content super easy. Having 2 or 3 Warlocks with this build in your fire team is completely broken. Each Warlock sort of feeds off one another. You can throw grenades in different parts of the room to kill different ads. You're all generating an enormous amount of orbs, meaning supers really fast, more grenade spam, and you all sort of play off each other. Next season, with a 20% damage boost to the Nova Bomb, having 3 Warlocks throw a Nova Bomb at a boss is going to do some incredible damage. Next season, with the Void buff, the Void Warlocks is definitely going to be meta. It is completely insane and broken how strong this build is. People definitely underrate the Void Warlock build, and I'm going to be making many more builds just like this one. So if you enjoy this content, feel free to drop a like down below and subscribe for more content and more Void builds in the future. Drop a comment down below what Void build you're using, or if you want me to make a video on a specific exotic for a Void build, let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. But anyway, Guardians, if you got this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, but I'll see you later.